Can you hear me now? I apologise for this. I've got an awful lot going on tonight. Right, hang on, where is it? Where's my button? Right, there we go. Special effects tonight. Look, I've got a lit hat. Can you see that? A lit hat. Yes, hello Finn. Finn the cat is with us this evening as well. I haven't cranked up the audio yet. Let me crank up the audio. Where's my audio screen? And let's give it maximum flat out noise so you can hear me and the cat. Finn, what? Yeah, well, are you going to come and talk on camera? You're just going to sit there and shout? Okay, he's going to sit there and shout. Good evening. How are we, humans? Got the wrong glasses on. Let me change my glasses. Now I can see you. Right, who have we got in the house today? Oh, good. My chat screen is visible on the right screen. Rocking Kitten in the front row. Hello, Tintin. I hear that you're not feeling terribly well. I hope that we can improve that with a little good humour from the Welsh part of London and shouting from the cat. Finn, hush. Stu Rutter, no whiskey tonight, or whiskey. Yeah, correct. There are two spellings of whiskey, Stuart Rutter, with E and without E. And I'm never certain which is the Scottish and which is the non-Scottish spelling of. Is Scotch whiskey without an E? Is that right? I could be wrong. A couple of cans of Carlsberg. Yes, very good, Carlsberg. They don't do live YouTube channels on a Friday, but if they did, they'd be this. If Penderyn did live YouTube channels, this would be it. Gordy Grant, hello Gordy. I see, yes, I can see you've got a great seat tonight. My friend Gordy up there in northern Scotland, who I didn't realise you were telling me about the PT water. I know exactly what you mean now. Emily Savage, hello Emily. The biggest, youngest Slade fan in the known universe. Lovely to have you with us. Anne Ashmore, you're always in the front row, Anne. Respect to that. Robert Jennings, hello, Mr. Jennings. Moved from the Iron Brew to Coca-Cola tonight. Steady on. D. Daly, part of the Slade Massive. Get down and get with it. Good evening. I think I might indulge and have some wine tonight. Yeah, have some wine. Let me know what you're drinking. You know what I'm having. And this is the same Penderyn as last week. This is the oak variety, the Aur Cymru. Aur Cymru. It's a particularly Welsh show tonight, as you will find out a little bit later on. Although we do dip into Scandinavia briefly too. Dave Ward, evening gang, evening Mr. Ward. VB, Violet Berlin over there. Give us a shout, V. That's a whoop, not a shout. Definitely going to start charging extra for Violet Berlin making those sorts of noises. Rachel Knoll in the Netherlands. Good evening. Hello, Rachel. Duncan Sykes. Hello, Duncan Sykes. Are you a new name? Did we see that name last week? I can't remember. Sorry, I'm going to come down and look, Dave. Did we see that name last week? Mr. Sykes, hello. Unsafe 68, that's Lily over there in New Jersey. Lily, I hope you're safe. It's all kicking off in the untied states of America at the moment, isn't it? I blame Trump. That's all I'm saying on the matter. James Ramsden. Hey up, James. Nice to have you with us. Bar Humbug evening all. Who is Bar Humbug? I forget who that was now. Who is Bar Humbug? Someone I know. I can't remember who it was. Bike said digital media. John Coombs in Yorkshire. Hey up, our John. A message from Lily saying sound. Yes, sorry about that. You're hearing me loud and clear now, I presume. Actually, can I turn that up even more? No, it's flat out. Robert Jennings. Oh, Chris Bow. Hello, Chris Bow. Nice to see you there. Did I do the sound mistake on purpose? No, I didn't. I really didn't. Really didn't. I think that's everybody. I've said hello to everyone. If I've missed you off, hang on, there's a name. Gary Catterall. Good evening. Gary. You can call me Gaz if you want. I will allow it occasionally. Allow it. As my son Tycho says, allow it. Who else have we got on here that I haven't said hello to yet? Oh, Gary O. That's who Bar Humbug is. Hello, Mr. Overton. Oh, Overton, isn't it? Yes, of course it is. And Dave Jewell. Wow, got a full house of... Miss Swaz. Mr. Michael C. here from a shed in Northampton. You've got a new name, Ms. Swaz. You're not normally called that, Michael. Nice to see you doing that. How are we, people? Are we well? Are we good? Are we safe? Are we happy? Welcome to what is the last Gareth Jones live. For now. I think there may be specials occasionally. But there's a very good reason why this is the last Gareth Jones live, and that was sort of we're emerging out of lockdown, aren't we? So if there's no one there to enjoy this, there's no need to do this, then there's no need to do it, is there? Okay, right. Now, you may remember last week, I was desperately trying to find something which came to my mind. So I was talking about communicating with my brother and how if I'd used an emoji, I would have expressed to my brother John what I was really trying to say. And I thought, I wonder if I could find that thing, because I made a very short feature for a program, trying to stop it from playing, for a program in 1999 about emojis, as they were called then, emoticons, for a channel called BBC Knowledge. So this was, if I remember, the BBC's first additional channel, and it was only available via digital. You know, nobody had Freeview at that point. At that point, there was another digital service. What was it called? It was combined between ITV and BBC. It didn't last very, very long, but BBC Knowledge became BBC 4 because it had a sort of a brief to inform people of stuff. So this is what we were telling people about emojis back in 1999 when I looked a lot different to how I look today.
A music news group on the internet might not be the obvious place to start if you're looking at literary criticism. But this week, I've been studying the development of the English language at rec.music.beatles. This group were discussing the way in which they discuss the Beatles. One member of the group suggested that Usenet fans of the Fab Four didn't use the English language correctly and instead relied too heavily on emoticons. Not emotions, emoticons. The little pictures of people's faces which appear at the end of a sentence, made up by a combination of keystrokes. The most famous of which is the smiley. Put your head on the side, type colon dash close brackets, and you get a nice smiley face. Type a smiley at the end of a sentence, and it tells the person that you're talking to that you're only joking. This is very useful, of course, if you're corresponding with Americans. Only joking! These days, there are thousands of emoticons. Whole dictionaries full of them, in fact. :-0 adds shock to your sentence. Semicolon, dash, close brackets, adds a wink. Now you may think that this is all a bit geeky, but emoticons are optional. You don't have to use them. But at the same time, you can't stop language from evolving. In the days of the Beatles, fab took over from fabulous. Today, PC means personal computer, and DVD means, well, it means DVD, in fact. Emoticons are just another form of shorthand. The internet is forcing language to evolve at a ferocious rate. I'm Gareth Jones. I used to be Gaz Top. I evolved.
No, you can't even hear me. It's all going wrong tonight. You'd have thought the last show, technically, I'd have been on top of things. Sorry about that. I let you see my desktop for a moment. Maybe a preview of things to come, as Alexander Korda said. I completely forgot my thread what I was going to say about the kit. Oh, yeah. Violet just reminded me that the kit was a BBC sort of science and technology programme on BBC Knowledge that was produced by my old pal Julian Mayers, who used to produce The Big Bite, a computer show I did for 5 Live. But it was presented, that show, The Kit, by Charlie Brooker and Gia Milinovich. 2 very, very, very wonderful people in quite different ways, I have to say. And I'm very pleased to see that Charlie's doing so well at the moment. Did you see the, what was he called, antivirus wipe that he did recently? Oh, that was tremendous. Some of the most outrageous jokes I may have ever have heard on television. There was a joke about John Lennon in it, which if anyone else had made, I'd have gone, oh no, you can't say that. But Charlie Brooker does it in such a way that's absolutely brilliant. And the tremendous Gia Milinovich, who I posted a picture. Did you see the moon? I'll talk about this. Did you see the not the moon launch, but the Dragon launch, the Crew Dragon launch by SpaceX of what they call Endeavour? That's what they named the capsule. Bob and Doug went up to the ISS, and when they were in the build-up to the launch, they showed a picture of Launchpad 39A, and I posted a picture on Twitter of me standing with Michael Cumming and a film crew, hello Michael, in front of 39A, as we were filming for a programme we made, An Afternoon on the Moon, together. And that photo was taken by Gia Milinovich. And when I posted it, Gia said, wait, did I take that picture? Yeah. One of my favourite pictures ever taken. I suppose I've got to show it you now, haven't I? I've got to show it you. I've got to find it. Because I can't talk about these things without showing you. Hang on, let me see if I can find it quickly. Pictures shortcut in television, radio and podcast, television, Better Television, because that was the name of the company that we had that made it. I may have shown you this last week, and I was talking about Michael, who was my partner in Better Television. But here we go. Boom. There we are. There's Michael, Hairs, Flares and Trade Fairs. There's me, and can't quite remember the name of the cameraman. It was James something, wasn't it, Michael? James, who actually filmed loads of stuff at John F. Kennedy Space Center. He filmed, whenever the astronauts come out, that sort of march out, and that bashed the mic, and they go into the astronaut van. It was James who shot all those bits, and he's the guy who actually trains the shuttle nauts, as they were in those days, how to use cameras to film things in Earth orbit. So we were privileged to be working with this guy. And this wonderful man, his name is Manny Virata Jr. And at the time when we were making this, Manny had worked for NASA for something like 30 years. And so he was able to give us unbelievable access. Look, we got right underneath the pad with a shuttle stack on it. Yeah, that's not a model, as they say in Monty Python, the Holy Grail. No, that's a real shuttle stack. The external tank and the 2 solid rocket boosters. And he also allowed us into the vehicle assembly building. We went right up to the top of the vehicle assembly building. We went outside on the roof of the vehicle assembly building. We went into the orbiter processing facility, where I actually got to touch Atlantis, a real spacefaring vessel. Ah, so exciting, so exciting. Look, I'm dressed up as an astronaut today with McNair, Onizuka, Jarvis, Scobie, Smith and Resnick. Is that all of them? Who have I missed out? The 7 people who flew on STS-51 Challenger and never came back. And big up the European space program as well. And big up the Welsh space program. A bit of solidarity for my American friends at the moment, who must be finding it particularly tricky right now. But yeah, I got this when I went to space camp in Belgium in about 92, 94, something like that, when I was making a radio programme for BBC 5 Live about space. It was called Spaced Out. And I got to do a bit of basic astronaut training. They put me in a shuttle simulator. They put me in the wet F tank, the wet facility, a really, really deep tank where I had to assemble a structure underwater wearing oxygen bottles and a mask. And then they put me in a multi-axis chair and spun me round, and I had to complete a task. So I'm tumbling forwards and backwards and sideways. And at the same time, I'm recording a radio program. It went well. It was fine. It was great. And I stopped. And it took me an hour and a half to recover afterwards. Oh, my equilibrium. I'm not sure how good an astronaut I would be. I think I might suffer. Okay, can I say hello to everyone over on Facebook? As you know, it's a bit tricky for me to see the Facebook posts. Particularly tricky tonight, because I put me back out the other day. Oh, I've got a sore back, so bending is very difficult. But over on Facebook, I can see Edward Kopic there. I can see Greg Godwin, Karen Campbell, and J Rates Art. That's a new name. Hello, J Rates Art. You guys, there is a link. I think Violet, you posted a link on there. Yeah, Violet's posted a link to the YouTube page. So if you follow that link and come and watch this program on YouTube, if you want to get a message to me, I can read it off the screen here. I'm getting messages coming in. I can see, yes, Emily blames Trump as well. Steve Summers is with us. Hello, Steve. Hello, Carol. Rocking Kitten loves my astronaut suit. Yeah, hey, I'm not a real astronaut. I'm just pretending. Should we have a song? You there, Tags? Yeah. Okay. Got a special guest for singing tonight. I'm going to have to bend down and turn on this amplifier behind me. Excuse me a minute. Check that they're the right chords, because Indy swapped them over earlier on. Oh, there we go.
Good evening, everybody.
This is Tycho Cluid Berlin Jones, number 1 son. How are you? Can we hear you on there?
Yeah, good. Very good. How's everyone doing?
Right. I'll tell them the story of the song first, shall I? I'll tell them the story. Let me get the chords up. This is a song that I discovered watching Glastonbury a few years ago. And this lady came on stage and sang this song, and it absolutely levelled me for 2 reasons. Number 1, her immaculate voice, her delicious vibrato, and 2, the pace of the song. It's not in a hurry, this song. It's a very delicate song. And I think this is the sort of song that Neil Young could have written. I'd love to hear Neil Young play this song. There's a lot of Neil Young in this song for some reason. Her name is Nina Persson. You may remember Nina was in the Cardigans, and I met her once. She was on, what was it called? It's Not Just Saturday, that show I did in the 90s with Danny Minogue. And Nina was...
Got a track with the Manics as well.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, she sings Your Love Alone with the Manics. Yeah. And one of the few people who could sing, I think, with James Dean Bradfield, because they've both got incredible voices, haven't they? Incredible. Can we hear the piano?
Yeah,
hear the piano. Okay. So, so this is Nina's song, and it's called This Is Heavy Metal. And it's not a heavy metal song. 1, 2, 3. I would like to sell now, my life is going well now. My bones are at an all-time okay. Home is not a building, it's valued at $1 billion. Years old, it doesn't care that I'm here. I have left the son now, who'll stay after I'm gone now. He'll be unbreakable by design. Still a little shaken from pieces that were taken. I wonder if ever they were mine. Mine. Well, let's do that bit again. Should we go from mine again,
Okay,
shall we?
yeah,
3, 4. Mine. Yeah, from the mines. 3, 4. Mine. Mine.
1, 2, 3.
Gold is overrated, it's dead and can be traded or sold, it's got nothing on time. This is heavy metal, the dust is gonna settle, the sun will find its way down the mine.
We got there in the end.
Tycho Jones, Gareth Jones en een Nina Persson song. Tycho de gewoon down.
Yeah, boom.
Out of there, Gog. He's good, isn't he? He's good. Don't forget, Tycho, don't go, come back. Come and sit on your old dad's knee without hurting his back, or get close. Tell me about your record. Where can we hear it?
Spotify, Apple Music.
Tycho
YouTube.
Jones.
Tycho Jones, new single out now.
And-
EP.
And what's it
Tycho.
called?
The new single's called Don't Be Afraid, or the EP's called Tycho Naught. But if you look up my name, Tycho Jones, on any streaming platform, including YouTube, you can find stuff.
I've got to show you something. Stay there. Don't go away. Where is it? If I get... where's it gone? There it is. If I get this...
Magnesium alloy, which is $1 billion.
Stand by. It's coming. Come here, Jones. Get on the webcam. Come and get the... Yeah. See any similarity between those two faces?
Maybe if I do this.
Out.
Have a good stream, guys.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Tycho Jones. Yeah, soft lad. Don't know where he gets it from. I blame his mother. Right, cheers. Tycho and I shared a penderim before we started today. Very good. It's nice when your children are adults, isn't it? You get to do that sort of thing. Right, where are we? You enjoyed that song. Pete Cole, please cover U2's Kite again. Oh, Pete Cole, you've got a memory. Yeah, way back when Tycho and Indy were, I don't know, about 8 and 10 years old, maybe 6 and 8 years old. We did Kite together, and they sang it brilliantly. We put it on Facebook. It's probably still there. Pete Cole, you've probably bootlegged it, haven't you? Pete Cole, actually, the finishing song today, you will particularly enjoy, I promise you. D. Daly observes that Tycho and I are indeed twins. Well, yeah, give or take 40 years or so, yeah. Yeah, but actually, that, where is it? Where is it? Do you mind if I go hunting for pictures for you again? Because it's always worth, if something comes to mind, me showing it you. Let me see. Pictures, family, where is it? Family, family, gene pool, if I remember it's in there. Gene pool, okay. There's this one. There's this one. There's Tycho, age 10. Me, age 10. You've seen that picture before. Actually, that wasn't the picture I was looking for. I was looking for another one. There's also this one. Hang on, let me get the picture up for you. No, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. This one. There we go. It works both ways. Look, there's me and my dad. You see? No difference between them, no difference between Tycho and me. You know, there are only so many genes that you can actually access, aren't there? There's another picture as well I've got of Tycho and I looking identical. Where is it? Is it in Tycho's folder? Let me see. Is it in here? Talk amongst yourselves, by the way, while I spend 20 minutes searching for pictures. Is it in here? No, I don't think it is. Unfortunately. No, I don't think it's in that folder. Some very funny pictures of this folder, though. Can't show you these. Family pictures. I can't show you all of them. Not all of them. As much as I'd like to. Look, there they are. No, I'm not showing you. Right. Where were we? We were talking about language earlier on, weren't we? Talking about emoticons. Talking about, pardon? SpaceX, yes. Very exciting watching the ISS mission happen. And what I didn't realise, I don't know if you watched it with me, but I got so excited on launch that at the moment of ignition, that is arguably, you know, the riskiest point in any rocket mission, any space mission, that and re-entry. And at the moment of ignition, I've been watching it for 2.5 hours, the build-up, and I'd watched the build-up previously as well. And as it ignited, I did too. I leapt up off the sofa. I leapt up and started jumping around the room. Woo, woo! That release of tension. And what I was very pleased about is that a number of people contacted me via Twitter and Facebook who aren't normally into space stuff. I know some of you are right here, right now, to say how you watched it and how you enjoyed it and how exciting it was. And that makes me immensely proud that you can enjoy something which I enjoy. It's pretty geeky, really, but the space stuff's pretty cool. Just looking at the time, okay. Should we stay in the subject of language and space for a moment? I dug something out for you here today. Let me just cue it up. Stop. Hang on. It's impossible to start something here without it playing automatically. I'm sorry about that. As you know, I'm a Star Trek fan. Where's me? There it is. Actually, I should have one of these. Should have a communicator pin. Have I told you my communicator pin story? Do you want to hear it? I'll tell them the communicator pin story after this. I'll set up the video first. I've got a good, sad communicator pin story. But as you know, I'm a massive Star Trek fan. And I may have mentioned it at some point on this program. And I used to mention it all the time when I was making How To. And so Jonathan Sanderson, who was the producer of the show for many years, thought it might be a good idea to do an item, a how, as we used to call it, on how, about Star Trek and language. And I discovered that I had it here on disc the other day. So I thought you might like a dip back into the archives. And I think this is from the 1998 series of How To. So by this point, Carol Vorderman had left the series to go and do the, what's it called, the National Lottery. She got paid more for one National Lottery episode than she did for the entire series of How To. She had two very small children at that time, so it was cost effective for her to go and work on the National Lottery and stay at home with her kids rather than spend weeks and weeks and weeks in Scotland making How To, which was great fun. Great fun. But anyway, on this series of How To, Carol had been replaced by Sian Lloyd, the wacky Welsh weather girl, who is delicious. She's lovely. So here we go. Here's a Star Trek-based How.
Che Klingon Hol Daljas.
What are you going on about? Have you gone over the top?
How do you speak Klingon?
I can't speak Klingon. It's fictional from the Star Trek films.
You're right, Fred. Klingons are the bad guys from Star Trek. You see, one of the complaints about the original 60s series of Star Trek was that all the aliens spoke perfect English. So when they started making the Star Trek movies in the 70s, they decided to invent the Klingon language so they could speak in their own tongue. So they employed a linguist to come up with a complete language. Here's a Klingon dictionary, complete with vocabulary and grammar, and you can even get Learn Klingon in a Week cassette tapes, guaranteed to get you by with Klingons in the neighbourhood. Now, like any language, Klingon reflects its culture, so there are no words for please or thank you. Highly regarded are insults.
Gareth, could we learn some Klingon?
Yes, please.
Would you like to?
Yes.
Good. Right then, join me on the Klingon homeworld, Kronos, at a marketplace.
God, no matter how many times you do that, you never quite get used to it, do you?
That's true.
I must say, this traditional Klingon street market is absolutely fascinating.
Isn't it? Well, I'm glad you brought the phrase book, though.
Yes, certainly.
Nuch ne.
I think that's the nearest the Klingons get to good morning. Let's try a shot of this. Okay, my man. Che Doc Vom Velo.
Regulus heel graag mee. I ga. Wat macht ik?
Ooh, 50 credits, it says here. Well, that sounds very reasonable.
Yes, but he won't like you if you put it like that.
Uh-huh.
Here we go. Tok Bil Oog Bay.
Dag idil. Beach mee. Tjoeg was bi hech.
Ooh, I think I'm getting the hang of this. Let me have a go.
Yes, go on.
Ha, de bach benep. Hab kukraj dachkek.
That told him.
Majka. Bach da kulotach. Welch macht ik?
Lou.
Lu.
And that's how you strike a deal in Klingon. And that's
Che. Ach wat.
That's
How for now.
I say, where did you learn your Klingon? Your pronunciation's marvellous.
For details of all the hows in this programme,
Ha 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 ha. How about that, eh? We got a bit of Klingon on children's ITV. Klingon, the fastest growing language on Earth. Because in 1977, nobody spoke that language. And by the 90s, I think as I mentioned in the item there, you know, Shakespeare being translated into Klingon. Some of the Bible, I believe, although quite how that works with Klingon belief systems, I don't really know. And now, you know, lots of people actually speak Klingon. And I've got a rudimentary understanding, you know, conversational, get you by in the shops, that sort of thing. But that's because I'm interested in language. You know, here's the Garliver Bar. And if you're a Welsh speaker, you'll think Gair liver bear. Think about it. Gair liver bear. Short word book. Cornish and Welsh almost identical. And Scots Gaelic, of course, related to us. 2 Star Trek stories. I'll tell you the com badge story in a minute. And but first, the language story. I interviewed Jonathan Frakes. Jonathan Frakes plays number 1 in The Next Generation. I interviewed him for a thing for Virgin Atlantic. And we got chatting. He was asking where I was from. I may have mentioned I was Welsh. And he said, oh, yeah, I come from a Welsh part of the United States. I'm from Pennsylvania, which is a very Welsh part of the United States. And because of that, on my honeymoon, he said, we went to North Wales. We went to, Llandudno and Beros y Coed. And that's exactly how he said it. I said to him, wow, full respect. You can speak really good Welsh. And I know why you can speak really good Welsh. And we both said at exactly the same time, because I can speak Klingon. True. Jonathan Frakes had to learn some Klingon for one particular episode of The Next Generation. Can't remember what it's called, but he seconded to be a captain on a Klingon war vessel, because they're all war vessels. Right, the sad story. Sad story. This Star Trek communicator pin. I was given. I interviewed Patrick Stewart. I think I've shown you this picture before, but I interviewed Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc Picard, for Get Fresh in 1987. Before Star Trek was shown on TV in the UK, because at that point you could only get it on VHS, pre-DVD. Oh, I just remember something else I was going to say earlier on. DVD, I remember that. During the interview, Patrick Stewart, at the end of the interview, during the interview, gave me a communicator pin. He said, "Here, Gareth, I'm aware that you're a Star Trek fan. I thought you'd like this." Wow, I said, "That's amazing. Thank you very much. It's like the ones that you wear on the program." He said, No. That is one I wore on the first series of Star Trek The Next Generation. Really? So I put it on my leather jacket. Very proudly wore it on my leather jacket. Then I was filming for the Children's Channel on my motorbike, and they were following me as I was driving around London doing a sort of a show and tell thing. We went down to Crystal Palace, and we came back to London, to central London, to Holborn. I got to London, and I took my jacket off, and I realised the communicator pin was no longer on the jacket. It had fallen off somewhere between Holborn and Crystal Palace. I spent 2 days retracing my steps on my motorbike, looking for it to see if I could find where it had fallen off. Never found it. And that's sad, obviously. Sad that I lost something so important to me that Patrick Stewart gave me. But what was really important, what's really sad, yes, can you hear that? That right on cue, that was my phone, a text message beeping. And the sound of Jean-Luc Picard's, there it is, Jean-Luc Picard's, his room, the access to his room. It's a message from Violet. Yes, I know that, yes. But what made me really sad was that someone has found this communicator pin on the road, somewhere in South London, in 90-something, or late 80s, early 90s. And thought, I wonder what that is. Oh, it looks like a Star Trek pin. And they may or may not have a friend who's a Star Trek fan, and gave it to them. Oh, look what I found on the road. And what they don't realise is it's an actual one from the first series, The Next Generation. Oh, so sad. But yeah, nice to do a bit of Klingon on how. What languages do you speak, by the way? I know we've got Dutch speakers. I mean, that means we've probably got German speakers as well, and possibly French speakers, or Afrikaans. Do you Dutch people understand Afrikaans as well? Have we got any Scots Gaelic speakers? Any Irish Gaelic speakers? I know we've got Welsh speakers on here. Come on, tell me, what languages do you speak out there? I know it's going to take about 20, 30 seconds for the message to come through to me. But yeah, let me know. What languages do you speak? Maybe you speak a language I don't know of. Maybe you speak Elvish. Oh, thank you very much. I speak Elvish. Which is based on Welsh, wasn't it, V? Wasn't Elvish based a little bit on Welsh? The language Tolkien wrote for... I thought you knew Tolkien. Sorry, I'm assuming here. Yeah, Elvish. I'm not dissing your knowledge of Tolkien. Oops. I thought Elvish is based on Welsh. Didn't he take a lot of Welsh stuff for The Lord of the Rings, Tolkien? We don't know. We don't know. That's messaging people at the moment. Sorry, I'll leave you to it. Carol Summers is there. She speaks Welsh. Oh, well, of course, da chi'n siarad Cymraeg, Carol. Oh, of course. Neitho ti tyfu fyny yng Nghymru fel fi, a ges ti addysg Gymraeg fel fi. You grew up in Welsh like me, and you had a Welsh education like me. An identical one, practically. Does Black Country count? Ah, yeah, well, you've got a dialect, and you know what they say? Brian Trudgear, who's the Professor of Language and Accent and Dialect in Oxford University, I think, he says, do you know the difference between a language and a dialect? It's an army. Any dialect with an army is a language. So unless there's a Wolverhampton Black Country army, I can't say that it's technically a language, but it's a dialect. I like it. It's a dialect. James Ramsden did a best man speech in Spanish once. Really? A whole best man speech. Do you speak Spanish, or did you learn it phonetically? Or do you have, usable Spanish? I like a bit of Spanish. I like to have a go at a bit of Spanish when I'm in Spain. I find it a bit easier than French. I've had no formal Spanish education. I had some French in school. But I always end up speaking Welsh if I'm speaking a foreign language. I don't default to English, I default to Welsh. Just end up speaking Welsh with a foreign accent. Actually, if you speak Welsh with a French accent, you get Breton. That's all it is. You speak Welsh with a Cornish accent, with a West Country accent, you get Cornish. That's what that is. Rachel, I did try to start a little Welsh years ago. I should try again. Rachel, you've been associated with Welsh people for over 30 years. I'm sure Welsh is just by osmosis in you now, really. Steve Summers, sorry, that was a bit loud, that clap. Steve Summers, I may have told you this in the programme before. Steve Summers, my great Geordie friend, married to a Welsh girl for 35 years. Actually, 34 years and 28 days. Is that right? Steve is a Geordie and speaks with a proper Geordie accent, has learned Welsh. Mae Steve yn siarad Cymraeg fel hyn. Mae'n anhygoel I glywed Steve yn siarad Cymraeg. It's unbelievable to hear Steve speak Welsh with a Geordie accent. It's beautiful. My kid can sing around 1,000 songs in Japanese. That's interesting. Indy can do some Japanese, can't he? Our youngest son. Because of gaming. Gaming gives you an access to Japanese. D. Daly, a bit of German, enough to buy cake and beer. Yes, these are the important things. Robert Jennings, living in Clydebank, when I was off school, I'd often watch children's TV in Gaelic. All I can say is good morning and welcome to children's programmes on BBC One Scotland. Yes, Falcher, isn't it? That's all I remember in Scots Gaelic. Falcher, it's the same as Irish Gaelic, isn't it? Welcome. Scots Gaelic, Irish Gaelic. I think that's correct. I may be wrong. D. Daly says, you should do a YouTube tutorial on how to speak Welsh. My great-great-great-grandfather was from Mould. My sister Caris, she may be watching this right now. Hiya, sis. She lives in Mould. We are, as a family, me, my sister Caris, my brother John Bryn, and my sister Mel, all brought up in Holywell, only 9 miles away from Mould. But I think I have got a bit of Welsh on YouTube, because I think I did a how to say Llanfair, Pwll Gwyn, Gellir Gerwys, Llantysilio, Bryn Drobych, Lag y Goch thing on YouTube once. I think it's on there. I can't remember. Ooh, Andrea Davis Tuttle says, forgot about my Pashto course. When in Camp Bastion, you learnt Pashto. That's a fascinating language. I'd love to hear that right now. Ooh, non-Indo-European. Well, Indo. Is it Indo? Or is it Indo-Arabic? Pashto. I don't know. Yestin R. Lloyd. A little French, a bit more French than my Welsh. Well, Yestin, you're ideally placed to speak Breton then. Just speak Welsh with a French accent. Okay. Violet's been learning Arabic. Doing a great job. That was this year, V, wasn't it? Before the lockdown. Doing an amazing job learning Arabic. Fascinating. You see, any language is learnable. They say, it's really hard learning a language. Really? In that case, why do babies master any language on the planet before they're 2? And that includes allegedly difficult languages like Chinese and Japanese. They are no more difficult than the language any of us speak. It's just what you're exposed to and what you practice. And learning language is all about exposure and practice. Okay, it's 9:45. Should we do the news? And now on Gareth Jones Live, the news. Some good news. I'm going to celebrate. I got some good news. It's been coming for a little while. No, I'm not pregnant. It's been coming for a little while. But it was confirmed end of last week. And I did actually know about this last week while I was doing the programme, but I daren't mention it because we hadn't agreed contracts and terms and all that. But I'm coming back onto your televisions, which makes me magnificently happy. I am going to present a programme or do reports and a feature in a programme for S4C, Channel 4 in Wales, a Welsh language programme called Gwylio'r Ser yn Dduw, watching the stars live. The clue's there. 2 space books behind, Stephen Hawking's Universe and Dorling Kindersley's Guide to the Universe. I'm going to do what is in effect a Welsh language version of Stargazing live for S4C, and we're going to do it on the shortest night of the year, pretty much, June the 21st. Now, you don't speak Welsh, so you might not understand this. But you can watch it if you want, because a great deal of the words that we'll use will be Latin words. We're talking about space stuff. So you might be able to follow what we're talking about. I'm going to do a number of reports that will be in the programme. It's like a 2.5 hour live show, I think, that starts at 10 o'clock and goes on till after midnight. And I'm going to tell some space history. And then I'll be in the show live, which is very exciting. A great number of levels, not least of all because in some ways it means it's the end of lockdown for me personally, because on Tuesday of next week I'm heading to Wales to start work on the programme. I'm going to go and do some reports. Very, very exciting, heading to South Wales. I can see Violet smiling at me broadly because you know how happy that makes me. I'm driving there. It's going to be brilliant. So, cheers y'all. I feel celebration is in order. It's nice to be back on television, and particularly nice to be on television in Wales, yn Gymraeg, in Welsh, talking about space stuff. As you know, one of my absolute favourite subjects. Thank you very much. I see applause and congratulations appearing there. Yeah, do you know how this job came about? I'll tell you briefly. I went to America with the Alarm last year, spent 3 months touring America, and a guy called Emyr Avan, who owns a company called Avanti, who make great television programmes in Welsh and English, came out to join us. He's made programmes about the Alarm. We spent some time together. I shot some stuff for Avanti while I was out there, did some video for the Alarm, for the version of Two Rivers Cross, the video for that. I shot some of that. And I got talking to Emyr, and he realised I was a big space nut, because most nights I was wearing a shirt with NASA on it on. You've seen that NASA shows. We're on TV because we were over there during the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, and he realised I'm a space nut, and he said, "One day I'll make a space program with you," and he's right. We are doing. So, right, as we're talking about space stuff, and Welsh stuff. Sorry, as we're talking about Welsh stuff, would you like to see a very short Welsh program I made a few years ago? It's very, very, very short. This. It's a little taster. It's a program called, it was a segment within a series called Caril ar Lleill, Caril and the Others. And it was a series presented or performed by Caril Parry-Jones, who is the Welsh equivalent of that woman who played Donna Noble in Doctor Who. What's her name, the one who played Donna Noble, guys? Catherine Tate. Thank you, Indy. She's like a Welsh Catherine Tate. She does characters. She's very funny. So they created this comedy sketch about 4 people who were trying to save Wales after the zombie apocalypse had happened in Rill. But they didn't want Gareth Jones. They wanted Gaz Top. So that's what they got. So hopefully you will enjoy this, and I know you will understand it because it's got subtitles.
Mewn byd lle bellach nad oes byd, lle mae danoliaeth yn sgerbwd, a'r cread yn ddim ond gwenwyn, dim ond y cryf sy'n codi o lwch dinistyr. Ac o fflamau'r apocalyps mae parhad ar hil ddynol yn nwylo'r ynistriol, a rheini ond yn dod o Rill. Apocalypse Rill. Rosie O'Grady, Brenhines a phennaeth pobl y ffair. Marina Lake, achubyd bywyd yn y Sun Centre. Dixieland Hughes, is-reolwr cynorthwyol dan y fforddiant mewn cwmni ffôns. Gaz Top fel Gaz Top. Mewn byd heb gysuron, mae'r cyflemwadau yn edwyno. Rhaid mentro y tu hwnt i ffiniau'r camp a wynebu'r perygl eithaf, around the roads.
Oh, flippin' heck, beth sy'n bod ar hwn rwan?
Ti eisiau fi redeg fewn i Rill i nôl petrol na nhw?
Na, neb I adael y car.
O, wel mae hwnna'n annoying achos dwi'n really eisiau wy.
Os da ni'n cael yn infectio gan y round the rounds, da ni doomed. Cofio beth ar ei ddigwydd I Nerys Hughes.
Oh, yeah.
Flaming hell, so rwy'n arall y boiling yma, wa?
No!
Alright, mate!
Apocalypse Rill yw barhau.
Oh, I've done it again, haven't I? I've done it again. Every time I come out of VT, I forget to turn the mic off. That's because I'm chatting to Violet during that clip there. Sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, whenever they want me, they wanted me as Gaz Top on that, and I've got a Gaz Top wig. So I got that from when I was on Dick and Dom in Da Bungalow, because they wanted me as Gaz Top. So they got this sort of wig that would work if we backcombed it as Gaz Top. So I've got it somewhere. And it's nice to revisit the old fella again and put a bit of eyeliner on and do that. Hilarious. But yeah, I am back on S4C, not as Gaz Top, but as Gareth Jones doing Gwylio'r Ser yn Fyw, watching the stars live. And yeah, get to tell some good space stories on that. I'm just looking at the clock. It's 6 minutes to. I want to finish with a song and try and finish more or less on time tonight. And I know that some of you have been leaving messages on Facebook, and for some reason I can't see those Facebook messages right now. So apologies. Oh, hang on. Yes, hang on. I've just seen some. Diane Blackburn is there. Lisa Zeitlinger. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Italian-American. Fantastic. So do you speak... Is American Italian different to European Italian, I wonder? Oh, it's a moth. A beautiful, beautiful moth. What are you doing here, Mothy? Go away. Go away. Go away. Alexander Calciano would like to learn Welsh. Yeah, well, I guess if you speak Italian, you could probably speak Welsh because, you know, the colours are the same with the flag, red, white and green. We're very emotive people. We're very emotional people. It's a good combo, Welsh-Italian, in my opinion. Okay. Yes, I just seen the messages on YouTube now on my screen from my brother saying sound loss. Sorry about that. That's me muting the microphone whilst you're watching video. But I'm back now. You didn't miss anything because I repeated. Gofod, a fi'n olaf. Does that make any translational sense? Yes, it does, Robert Jennings. Yes, space, the final frontier. Actually, I'd love to translate Star Trek into Welsh. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I'll do a Simtram and revoice an episode of Star Trek and have the Klingons, I don't know, speak Scots Gaelic. Oh, two things I remembered. Well, I remember now. Number one, I said that we would be venturing into Scandinavian territories. Well, that was Nina Persson, of course, her beautiful song. And second of all, in that film from the kit, I said that DVD stands for DVD. Look it up, it does. DVD doesn't actually stand for anything. It was an expression, a term that could be used for a number of explanations. It can stand for digital video disc. It can stand for digital versatile disc. And there is another one it can stand for as well. But technically, DVD just means DVD. Let it mean whatever you want. There we go. Right. Should we have a song to finish? Indy? Yeah? Yo, yo, yo. As my youngest son, not that young, Indy's now 18 and a half? 28. 18 and 28. I wasn't paying attention for a week. And is, just like Tycho, a proper musician, unlike me. Violet's a proper musician. These two are. I'm the only non-proper musician in the house. But so good a musician is Indigo Flint, with two Fs, Berlin Jones, there, that I asked him if he'd play a song with me, which he's never played before, and he learnt it in about one sitting. Have you got the chords in front of you as a backstop? Yes, good. Because I thought, as this is the last Gareth Jones live, I can hear you booing, I would finish with a song that's a bit of an anthem, and a song that's an important song, a song I absolutely adore. These are all songs I adore. All the songs I do on here are songs I adore. But this is it's almost like a hymn, and it's written by a friend of mine, a close personal friend for over 40 years or something, 38 years or something like that. Yeah, it's an alarm song. And it's called Walk Forever by My Side. And Indy's going to accompany me on the ukulele. Let's give it a go, Indy. Yeah. 3, 4. Walk forever by my side, never lose sight of the day when we will run through all our weakness, on through the fields strewn with our broken dream. Walk forever by my side. Stay forever in the light. Never lose sight of the way. For I alone can face the future. I need your strength to help me make it through. Stay forever in the light. Walk on till morning. All my days are yours. Walk on till morning. All my days are yours. Hope you'll stay with me tonight. Lift the veil from my eyes. For I am weak and I am foolish. I need your love to see me through the darkness. I hope you'll stay with me tonight. Walk until morning. All my days are yours. Walk until morning. All my days are yours. Clouded. Lovely. Lovely. Proper singer. You should hear his soul version of Walk Forever. Do you want to try it?
Before I knew the lyrics.
Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
Indie soul version. Hang on, this is hilarious.
This is not the melody at all.
No, it's not the. I'm going to come over here with the microphone so I make sure you hear it. This is worth hearing. This is.
Let's see if I can do this.
Can we see
Walk forever by my side. Never lose sight of the day when we will run through all our weakness, on through the fields, strong with our broken dreams. Walk forever by my side. Stay forever in the light. Never lose sight of the way. For I alone can face the future.
Yeah, mate.
I need your strength to help me make it through. And now for the rap verse.
Indigo Flint Berlin Jones singing a song he doesn't really know with a fantastic voice. That boy's voice. Honestly, my boys, our boys. They're all right, our boys, aren't they, V? Considering the disadvantage I had growing up in this house. And that's it. That's it. Let me have a quick hello to everyone on Facebook again. I'm sorry I never got to see your messages. For those of you leaving messages on here, thank you very much indeed. Emily, been nice to come here for the past few weeks. Take care. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Lily in the States. That is wonderful news. I'm sure you particularly enjoyed me murdering an alarm song. I think it's kind of appropriate. Anna Ashmore, Indy's voice, stunning, correct. Indy's version is better than the original, says Michael Cumming. Wow. Thank you for 11 weeks of fun, Michael says. Michael, thank you very much indeed. Steve Summers, John Brim, Luke Neal, Andrea Davis-Tuttle, R. Fred Williams, bravo. Emily Savage, Anne Ashmore, D. Daly, Yesin R. Lloyd, Gordy Grant, Chris Bauer, Rocking Kitten, Robert Jennings, John Coombs, Bikeset Digital Media, Stuart Rutter, everybody, Luke Neal. If I have not mentioned you by name, I do apologise. But thank you so very, very much for joining me for 11 weeks. Really? 11 weeks. It's 10:05. Some of the shows were an hour and 20 minutes long, some were an hour and a half long. That's almost 15 hours of me sitting here talking about myself. I can only apologise. Love you guys. Thank you very much indeed. That is Gareth Jones live for now. Please watch Gwylio'r Ser yn View. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook, where I shall tell you where you can see it, because you can actually see that wherever you are in the world, because it will be available via Click, C-L-I-C, Click, the Welsh spelling of Click, which is S4X. S4C, by the way, is how you say S4C in Welsh. S, pedwar, which is a Welsh word for four, ec, which is a Welsh word for C, and S, pedwar X. Whenever you see S4C, don't say S4C, say S4C, because that's what it's called. And hopefully, please watch Gwylio'r Ser yn View. Follow me on social media and I'll tell you when it's on. I love you guys and I'm going to miss you. So I will come back and I will do another one of these at some point. Who knows when, but at some point. Hello down, as we say in Welsh, thank you very much indeed. I'm now going to enjoy another full glass of Penderyn.